Today I am looking at Whoever Slew Auntie Roo from Hammer Presents. And a little disclaimer, because I feel like I just have to say this. I fully understand this is not a Hammer film. This is an American International Pictures film, but it is released under the Hammer Presents. I seem to get so many comments from people who, I don't know, just want to say that for some reason. And this is a little weird title that has a very strong Hansel and Gretel thematic through it. It's got Shelley Winters chewing the scenery whenever she can. And this film kind of, it feels as if it's going to edge into like hagsploitation, but it actually a little bit more complicated than that. And the things I kept seeing about this film were, oh, it's too simple, it's too plain, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that.
Are you really 100 years old?
Oh, much more, Katie. Your Auntie Roo is a child of the cakewalk and the turkey trot.
Shelley Winters plays Rosie Forrest, best known to the kids as Auntie Roo. Every Christmas she opens up her large lonely house and invites kids from the local orphanage for a party. On the surface it's kind of generous. There's food, presents, a little bit of warmth and celebration. But inside the house there's something seriously wrong. She's mourning the loss of her daughter Katie. She's become trapped in grief. She's stuck in this house. She's doing seances to try and contact her. She's really struggling with this grief. And it feels at times that it's a kind of psychological fairy tale horror, you know. And what I like about it is it really plays with the kids. Is their version of reality reliable? First off, we have Shelley Winters as Auntie Roo, and she is the whole film. She is a big performance. She's not holding back. Subtlety has been left in the dressing room, and she's here in full jazz hands mode, where she's making everything really big and broad, and she can be frightening, and she can feel manipulative, and she, you know, completely crosses the line at certain times, but there's a kind of vulnerability within that character. She's kind of pathetic. There is a real sadness here. It's a woman being eaten alive by loss, and the carnivorous people round about her who are picking her clean as best they can.
Catherine, don't go yet. Talk to me some more, baby. Talk to me.
Why?
Hansel and Gretel angle is something that gives the film a real identity, and it feels easy, almost cheap at the start, but I think it builds into it. Christopher, one of the young boys who's involved here, sees the world like a fairy tale. Auntie Roo is the witch, Katie is Gretel, he is Hansel, and the house becomes the gingerbread house, and the adult world becomes something fairy tale itself. It's there in the periphery but doesn't really affect it. And it's this idea that leads to a sort of interesting tension within the film. From Christopher's point of view, Auntie Roo is absolutely the villain. But from the viewer's point of view, things are much murkier. She does seem unhinged a little bit, and she does seem a little bit dangerous, and she's kind of being gaslit by the people round about her. She's definitely being exploited. But I don't feel like she's the true villainous character as she's almost portrayed to be.
Now first, we'll get a nice hot fire going.
But although she did not tell him, Hansel knew that the wicked witch was going to eat him too.
What works best for me in this Gothic, very English, very 70s thriller is there is a certain uncertainty in this one. When you first look at the film, you have an idea, you know exactly what it's going to be. Big house, strange behaviour, children in danger, and it's very easy to just go, that's going to be the film, and follow it like that. And you could absolutely watch the film in that vein, but it's everything that kind of makes this much more. The kids are unreliable. It's their viewpoint, and they're in a very vulnerable state themselves. The adults around Auntie Roo are respectable on the surface, but some of them are absolute parasites. and I like how it does that. But not everything works. The film can be a little bit tonally uneven. You know, it has this kind of gothic tragedy about it, but it kind of wants to be a black comedy in times as well. And it kind of leans into this fairy tale horror, but then it kind of wants to be a more straightforward, typical thriller later on as well. It has this interesting Christmas theme about it, which I kind of like, because as a film fan, if I can latch onto something as a Christmas movie, I will absolutely do that. And I could see this being thrown into the rotation at some point. Of course, as a Hammer Presents film, there's a couple of interesting extras to talk about, so let's dive in and have a look. Here we are in the disc for Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. First up, we have the 185:1 theatrical version, which has a commentary featuring Alexandra Heller Nicholas. We have Whoever Slew Auntie Roo 137:1 as filmed version, the theatrical trailer, the textless theatrical trailer, a radio spot, Grief as Horror, which is a video essay that runs for 19 minutes and 2 seconds and is looking at Auntie Roo as one of the most sympathetic, somewhat villains of horror, and someone that definitely needs a lot more focus on. We have an image gallery, and that is the extras for Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. So Whoever Slew Auntie Roo is uneven but genuinely interesting slice of 70s psychological horror. It can be watched as a kind of basic film and just be digested and thrown away. If you hang about a little bit, if you give it a little bit more thought and delve into the actions of the characters, it can become something much better than that. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but I did find it fascinating, sad and slightly unhinged, and I've been watching a lot of kind of the death of fairy tales recently, and I feel like this fits really into that. A Christmas horror fairy tale with Shelley Winters giving a great performance. I'd love to know your thoughts on this film, so let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there are more content up there. You can see more of my stuff, and in the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.